States found to be not in compliance with a federal law outlining strict guidelines for sexual offender registries. As News Channel 18's Kelly Roberts reports, the state has some precedents that make it hard to adopt the federal law.
In Tippecanoe County, 163 sexual offenders are registered. That is just a portion of the 9,000 registered in the state. Now the federal government is saying those 9,000 offenders are not facing the correct standards. Indiana is one of 35 states the federal government has named that are not implementing the standards of the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act, which became law in 2006. Sheriff's Department Detective Jason Morgan is in charge of the county's sexual offender registry.
One of the more difficult things about this is when someone moves into our state from another state is determining where they fit in our registry laws, what crime is equivalent to Indiana crime.
Right now, Indiana's sexual registry law puts offenders into 3 categories: sexual offenders, offenders against children, and sexually violent predators. Depending on the crime, offenders must register for 10 years or a lifetime. The federal law wants states to have a 25-year period as well. Indiana can't enforce anyone who committed their crime before 1994, when the state law came into effect, to register. And if someone committed a crime before it was added to the Indiana statute, they too don't have to register.
The way it states anyone that committed their crime before it was added to the registry, it's not just 1994. Some crimes were added 2001, 2006.
Morgan says in Tippecanoe County, detectives are doing more than just what the state law says.
State statute requires that we do a home visit at least once a year, but our sheriff requires us to do that at least every 90 days. Just lets the offender know that someone is watching them, that we're keeping an eye on them.
To adopt all the federal requirements, state legislation will have to change. The Criminal Law and Sentencing Policy Study Committee plans to meet about the subject on Thursday. Kelly Roberts, News Channel 18.